Before time was measured, before the world became loud, there was a remembering written in your soul. A remembering of who you are beneath the roles, the striving, the forgetting. There comes a time when the veil thins and the old ways of living no longer fit. You feel it as a pull, a quiet ache, a knowing that something ancient within you is ready to awaken. This is the path of alignment. Alignment is not effort, it is remembrance. When you align, your intuition sharpens like a flame, your energy settles into your body, your life begins to move in rhythm with the unseen. The Moon Goddess training is a sacred initiation into this remembrance. Through the Akashic Records, the timeless field of soul memory, you journey beyond time and space into the ancient temples of the Nile. As you enter them, something within you unlocks, layers dissolve, old wounds soften, your inner sight opens. You remember how to listen, how to trust, how to move through life, guided rather than forced. This is the return of the aligned woman, rooted in her body, open in her heart, clear in her knowing. She no longer searches outside herself, she remembers the way. If your soul is listening now, this is your invitation. The Moon Goddess training begins soon, and the path opens the moment you say yes. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your channel for grace. We also have Ashley here tonight joining me. We are here for the third time and final time where we're going to talk about everything Moon Goddess training. So we've done 2 broadcasts already. The first one, we focused on level 1, everything that level 1 represents, like what you do in level 1, what we learn, how you grow and evolve. We talked last week all about level 2 and what that entails. And then today we are going to focus everything on level 3. So welcome, Ashley. Good to have you back. How are you doing?
Oh my goodness. Hello. I'm doing good. I'm actually doing a lot better than I have been the last couple of weeks. I feel like I have energy again. I'm not freaking, crying my eyes out because I'm going through an emotional wave. I am
Right?
good, and I'm super, super excited to be here because I freaking love talking about the Moon Goddess training. Everyone I meet, they're like, where? Like the Ashley that we knew like X amount of years ago, like what happened? And I was like, let me tell you, the Moon Goddess training.
Right. I know. And we were just talking about also like working together is like a new-ish thing, but we're really enjoying it. And so Ashley joined me last year in the Moon Goddess training. She mentored last year, and we work one-on-one with you guys outside of the regular classes. Actually, today we're going to talk about how specifically we do that throughout the year, because the program is a whole year long. But we were just talking about earlier, like how as projectors, we feel so like fulfilled. I don't know. There's just something when we do this kind of work and we see the change that it gives, that it can provide, that it can like inspire in somebody else. We're both like, oh my God, this is why I'm here, and then we like go back to regular life and we're like, oh, and I'm just kidding. No, but it's like, so it feeds our soul. This work literally feeds our soul. Like there's no other way to describe it. That's why we love it so much. So if you are new, before we kind of dive into everything, if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. That really helps with the algorithm, and it helps to like push this video out to other people that are meant to see it, watch it, and be a part of this beautiful community. We also have a private community space held on Mighty Networks, and that's actually where we also host this class, this Moon Goddess training course, and other workshops and classes that I offer. But there's free events that you can join, and everything is all in one place, which is really awesome. So make sure to check that out. And then the last thing I want to share before we dive into the topic of level 3 and the Moon Goddess training is that you can go on the links in the description below and find the page with all the information about the program. I highly recommend that. Also, I recommend that you watch the 2 previous videos, and you can download, if you're new, my free moon astrology guide, which tells you what your psychic gifts are based off your moon sign, which is actually something that we study and learn all about in the Moon Goddess training. But it also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report. I also have a workshop happening on Sunday all about the Neptune and Saturn in Aries conjunction and that whole transit of Neptune and Saturn in Aries. And we're going to like dissect that in a really, really fun way. We're also like in this intense dark moon right now. I don't know if you guys knew that. This program is actually starting on the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, which is happening on Tuesday, on the 17th, February 17th, which is so significant because it's also the year of the fire horse that is beginning, and it's just like quantumly activated collectively, but also personally, like based off of where it's happening in your chart. So we're promoting this program because this powerful portal is arriving, and it's time for us to freaking start doing the work. You know, it's time to like dive in. Like I was thinking earlier about like what is truly the significance of this program, and it's like if you have ever wanted to feel like what it actually means to like truly heal, this is it. To like truly integrate all the teachings. A lot of times we'll take, we'll read a book or we'll take an online class, and we get all the kind of intellectual stuff, but we never integrate the information because it doesn't like drop into the body. I actually just did a post this week, I think it was either yesterday, that was all about how fully embodying and living aligned in your design is about embodiment. It's not about like spirituality per se, because the practice needs to like really drop into every single place, piece, part of your life. Like from the minute you wake up till you go to bed, like this is the work. So you can't just turn it on when you want to and then turn it off when you want to. But if you do that, if you like avoid it, it gets worse. So to learn all the tools that you need to get through freaking life, this is it. Like if I was going to summarize it, like this is it. The other thing that this program is, it's like, it is the modern day version of the ancient mystery schools of Atlantis, Lemuria. Like there's a reason why we still study Hermetic alchemy. Like there's a reason why we still learn about sacred geometry. These ancient teachings are still valid today because they're literally the laws of the universe. And learning the laws of the universe is going to take you into a place of empowerment where you actually get to live your life instead of live the life that someone else like told you that you're supposed to live. And this is what the Aquarian age is all about. Like this is it. We're launching. We've been like on kind of like a little bit of the edge, meaning age of Pisces is dying, age of Aquarius is beginning. But now that Pluto is in Aquarius, now that Neptune is in freaking Aries, now that Saturn is literally about to go into Aries tomorrow, their conjunction happens on February 20th. This eclipse in Aquarius is activating that whole conjunction, which it's technically like a 14-year cycle if you think about it, because Neptune spends about 14 years in one sign. So it's a collective initiation now we're full on in the Aquarian age. There's no going back. Can you feel it? Like, are you feeling this shift, Ashley? I'm curious. Your own personal experience of it.
Yes, I totally am. And it's like, I feel like I'm still in this, like, it's like a little transition, like this weird phase or this in between or this transition where I'm like, I can see my future right there. I can see everything right there. And it's like there's this momentum or this building inside of me. And then I know it's just going to be like, like gone with the wind.
Oh my God, yes. It's
Yeah.
expansive and it's quantum.
Mm-hmm.
So you take like, that saying that they say you take like one step towards your teacher and your teacher takes like 1,000 steps towards you. It's kind of like that. Like the minute you cross that threshold of like, you make a decision or you finally choose to do something, you know how you get like the butterflies in your stomach and like you're kind of scared, but at the same time you're like really excited. That's what this whole energy that we're experiencing right now, astrologically in the collective, feels like. That's what it's inviting us into. So every year the Moon Goddess training has been epic. Every year it has like been even better than the last. And I can't wait to see the magic of this one. And they've all been different too, like because the energy of the group and all of that. But essentially the training is a year-long program. There's 3 different levels. In level 1, you're learning like the fundamentals of, the ancient Atlantean teachings, Hermetic alchemy, sacred geometry, astrology, your own personal astrology, your own personal, the gene keys. We travel through the gene keys throughout the whole year. We're learning about the moon centers. We're doing meditations, 40-day meditations from the Kundalini yoga practice, which are so powerful. They work with the energy centers, the chakras, the breath, like all the systems of the body. And the systems of the body is a big topic that I bring into the study of astrology, because it correlates to, it's another one of those things that makes you anchor the teachings into your literal physical incarnation. When spirit descends into matter, your body is like the method by which we chose to experience life as a spiritual being. So knowing how the physical body works is key to also helping you, work through your life and fulfill your destiny and your purpose as it is, outlined in your gene keys and your astrology and your human design. I mean, it's some deep stuff that we go into, and that's literally level 1. Level 2, we start to look at everything more along the lens of our trauma and our childhood trauma and all the things that like we now as adults struggle with, especially in relationships. And that's really the place in life where we are, it's the biggest playground for the deepest learning. And sometimes it doesn't feel like a play, like playing, but that's what I mean by that. It's like, it is where it happens. It's the groundwork. It's like relationship is where you see your shadows. Relationships is where you see, also your gifts, how you give and how you take. And it's also where you like get triggered. And only when we get fully triggered truly, which is kind of sucks that it works that way, but that's just how it works. So if you allow, like, there's a lot of acceptance that has to happen throughout this process of healing. If you accept the way things are, you release that constriction in yourself, and you actually allow yourself to open up to see the world in a different way. And that's level 2. And once we kind of crack that open, which is definitely like a cracking open of like your, sacred vessel, your little heart, then the floodgates can open. And then you can start to like work with the magic of like the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is an information field that we live in it. Like, we're part of the Akashic Records. I always remember this like ancient teaching of the web of the planet. And I always heard it referenced as like a flower of life sphere. I wish I had my sphere to show you guys. Well, I show it to you in the Moon Goddess training, but The sphere is like this flower of life in 3D form that surrounds the planet. Well, that also surrounds the entire universe. The universe is like circular. That's why we've got like sacred geometric shapes. It's also like highly dimensional and activated and all of that. But the flower of life and the aspect of a field of information is what we begin to truly understand and tap into in this program. And the way that you learn to communicate with the Akashic is through your strongest intuitive gifts. And then there's so much that goes into the understanding of what that is for you. I believe, and I think you do too, Ashley, that like intuition is something that we all have intuition. Our society and our world has taught us that intuition is bad or like voodoo or like wrong or evil. And it's just a complete misunderstanding of the magic of being a human being. Because when you start to understand that you're always using your intuition without even realizing it, you start to see, oh wow, it's a lot more real than I imagined. It's not something that's out there that I have to reach and it's so far away. Like it becomes a part of my everyday freaking life. Like there's even aspects in our human design chart that say like, what's our strongest sense? You know what I mean? It's like, what? And mine, I can't remember what yours is, but mine is inner vision. My strongest sense is like inner vision, which means that I see better when I close my eyes. And that means I'm very clairvoyant. Like there's something about, I close my eyes and I tune into the field and I see things, I see visuals, I see movies, I see like all kinds of things. And that's my strongest sense. And that's just one of them. Do you know what yours is? Ashley, do you remember what yours is?
I'm trying to look right now, but I feel like mine is inner vision too.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it written on a piece of paper somewhere. So I think it was inner vision, but I'm gonna look while you're chatting.
Yeah, totally. Keep looking. And also inner vision is like very clairvoyant. And clairvoyance is psychic sight. So that's just one of the categories of intuition and psychic ability. There's also intuitions in the form of like feelings, like you feel into something and that's information coming into you. And if you think about like emotional authority in human design, that's you tuning into the Akashic field through the realms of the emotions. So emotions can be intuitive as well. Is it inner vision? Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I just found it. It's inner vision.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're very much alike in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the magic and like the power of level 1 is that we take everything we've learned. It's like you go through the threshold in level 1, you start to do deeper shadow work in level 2. And then in level 3, it's like you get to shine, you get to play. You get to take everything and like put it all together. And that's what level 3 can be so like exhilarating in that way. And I want to actually show you on the screen the program overview for level 3. So we're going to get detailed because we want you to see exactly what this is like and what you're going to get when you sign up. So level 3 has a schedule that is very different than the first two. The first two are weekly. We meet weekly, but level 3, we just meet like once a month for three times, 3 weekend intensives. And then we do practice sessions either on a Tuesday or a Thursday evening for like a couple hours where we separate into Zoom rooms, we practice with each other, and then we come back and share what our experience was. And that's really the bulk of level 3. But essentially, we're taking basically everything that we learned in level 2 in terms of the like Akashic journeys, and we're learning how to apply them to do readings for somebody else, not just ourselves. On top of that, you're also doing a 40-day meditation just like before. In fact, let me show you our 40-day meditation that we do for level 1. I'm going to scroll up on the workbook. And this is also the workbook, which is so cool because you get a workbook for every level. It's PDF format, but you can also get it printed as an actual bound book. It's really nice. And we do this Kriya in level 3 that's called the Lost Kriya of Yogi Bhajan, which is actually amazing. It's so powerful. It's literally meant to like activate. Everything is about prosperity in level 3. So this Kriya specifically, it's like activating the power of the universe. And there's like these really fun movements that we do in the Kriya, and to this really epic song. It's like Guru, Guru, Wahe, Guru. If you guys remember, you're going to laugh. Guru, Ram, Das, Guru. Anyways, you're like reaching to the universe. You're pulling the energy towards you. You're like magnetizing things towards you. You're receiving. There's like these different aspects of this Kriya that are so free. This is fun. Like this is the funnest for me. The other ones are very potent, but level 1 and level 2 are meditations that you do sitting. In level 3, we get full on body movements, like an actual yoga class. It's called a Kriya in Kundalini yoga, but it's like movement, arm movements, breath work, all of it put together. And it is level 3. So we need to take it to the next level. And so we do this Kriya called Subha Kriya, which is for activating prosperity. And it is freaking epic. And this meditation, this Kriya is definitely no joke. It is not easy to do. But the reason why I chose these two specific Kriyas together is because in level 3, we also do the pearl sequence in the gene keys. And the pearl sequence is all about prosperity. I'll talk about that next. But first, I'd like, Ashley, for you to share, what did you feel like when we transitioned into the level 3 Kriya? Because by that point, you already have done 2 meditations for 40 days, which are very different. And this one also changes the game. What was your experience of doing this Kriya?
I thought this one was like when I first did the training and I took it, I thought it was so hilarious because I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And so it was really, really fun. And when Jai says that she picks these specifically for the specific levels, like back in level 2, when we're like cracking our hearts open, that Kriya also is like, oh, like cracking open in a different way. And then when we come to level 3 and we literally get to play in the Akashic Records, this is very much what this Kriya feels like. Like it's very playful, but just last year when I was doing it, this was the visual I was getting. So there is some hilarious movements, and I'm going to do one of them for you. And you literally go like this, and you are like this, and you're chanting. And I like envisioned opening up like this, like a hole in the universe or something. And I was just being like showered in all of my dreams, all my desires, everything I was calling in was like, would pour through this little hole in the wall while I'm doing this. And it was so cool. And then
really
like there is a part where there is some movement where like Jai says it's no joke, but it's very like, for me anyways, because I'm not the greatest to my body, it almost like lights a fire under my ass where I'm like, I never want to stop doing this because it makes my physical body feel so activated and so good.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love that you shared that. And this practice is meant to activate also, like there's a lot of movements that make you strengthen your core. Mm-hmm. And people don't like think about these things, but they're part of like these, ancient practices because they're connected to chakras. So like you strengthen your core, you're strengthening your solar plexus chakra, which is your space of willpower. So you saying that like it made you want to like, it inspired you, it made you feel stronger in life is, yes, that is the effects of taking your body and treating it as a sacred tool and a temple for activating you energetically, like spiritually, mentally, physically, like all of the layers. And this Kriya definitely like takes it up a notch, but it's fun. I love this Kriya. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, and it's like, it really is like activating, like it really does bring out something in you that inspires you to want to freaking go. And so speaking of that, I want to share on the screen the Gene Keys hologenetic profile and talk a little bit about how the sequences lead into each other. And we're going to review, because in level 1, we work on the activation sequence, which is all of the green spheres. And this, like, I remember saying, I always say this is like you take a key, you put it in, you turn it, and you activate yourself. And so now you have like opened the portal of like you, and opened up the door to step through to who you truly are and what you're truly here to do, to learn, how you're here to evolve, how you're here to glow, you know, what you're here to like start, how you're here to serve, what you're here to embody. That's the activation sequence. And then we do the Venus sequence, which is all the red spheres, which is the one that takes us into the deeper shadow work, which happens in relationships. So it's all the triggers, like the way that we protect our emotion, the way that we protect our heart, the way that we protect, you know, our mind. Sometimes the traumas that we have are so intense that like it's too challenging to just freaking go there, you know, on your own. So the good thing about level 2 is that we're here to guide you through the process in a healthy and like safe way. And then when you finally go through that intense process, then you land at the Pearl sequence, which is, like I said, all about prosperity. And it teaches you that your core wound, which is the last sphere in the Venus sequence, becomes your vocation in life. So like as you heal yourself, you heal, like it becomes your gift to the world. Like how freaking beautiful is that? And the cool thing about me and Ashley is that we have the same one. Like we both have inner vision. We both have the 43rd Gene Key as our core wound and vocation, which is really cool because it really brings in this like alignment between us as projectors who are also here to be guides. it's like couldn't have met, you know, a better match, you know what I mean, for like this service. And then it tells you also what's the best environment for you to work in. Like, are you someone who works really well, like all alone? Like, are you an individual in that sense? Or, you know, are you someone that works better in like a pair or a small group or bigger groups, networks? That's all in there. It also shows you like what is the best environment energetically. Like mine is the 58th Gene Key in the culture sphere. And it goes from dissatisfaction. I can't remember the other two, but I can't work in a place where people are like dissatisfied with life or with themselves or in a bitter space. That's detrimental to my work. And so now I have to find, which one is it? Would you remember what the 58 is, Ash? What's the gift and the city? Maybe she can look it up while I keep talking. Okay, but so that is the culture sphere. Then you open up to your brand. It's like, what is your brand? So if you're like, hey, what do I do if I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to like start my own business? Just go find your Gene Keys and study the Pearl.
The 58 goes from the shadow of dissatisfaction, the gift of vitality, and the city of bliss.
Okay, vitality and bliss. That's what I didn't remember. So yeah, so in like my workspace needs to be blissful and like there needs to be vitality to it. Life force needs to be flowing through in everything I do and all the encounters that I have. And when it doesn't have that, then it doesn't feel like it's in alignment or it's in a shadow frequency, and I won't be able to be as productive. You know what I mean? This is how freaking epic this stuff is. Like how specific this gets. So then you discover your brand, which is like what you're here to sell. And it's something natural and automatic. You don't have to work at it. It's what you're constantly giving out. It's your light, it's your soul. And people are drawn to you because of this reason. And they want to work with you because of this. You know, it's like whoever needs your flavor of brand will come and find you. So mine is the 35th Gene Key, which goes from hunger to adventure to boundlessness. So people come to me because they want a spiritual adventure. and I provide that. Like I live my life very spiritually adventurous. And so people are drawn to that. Like, I want that too. And so that's what I'm selling. What's yours, Ash?
My brand is 49th Gene Key, which is the shadow of reaction, the gift of revolution, and the city of rebirth.
I love it.
And this one's like, I love this one. And like, I feel like this one I keep like stepping more and more into, because if I think back on my life, I literally have fucking intentionally poked, not on purpose, not to be rude, poked and caused these reactions on people. But then like they turn around and kind of in the revolution frequency, like, oh my God, like that, what you said was so triggering to me, but then it made me turn around and look inside of myself and start to do the work where the rebirth comes. So it's like, and it's such an Aquarius thing too. Like, I want a revolution. Like, I want to change the world.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing the deeper layers that you discover about yourself by studying your gene keys. And then the pearl ends on the pearl sphere, which is literally the way that you are meant to activate the frequency of prosperity. Like, what turns that wheel on? So, of course, this has to be in level 3, because this is all about you also stepping into your purpose in a deeper way where you are going to be helping and serving others. This is a certification. So level 3, you get certified as an Akashic record reader. And so a lot of it is like us talking about the etiquette of doing Akashic record reading, the rules of doing Akashic record reading, what you can and can't do, all of those things. But also at the same time, what's the frequency that when I step into this world of service to humanity, and I'm in alignment here, how is this going to actually bring prosperity into my life? It's just like a beautiful progression. So I'd love to ask you, Ash, like, what was your experience of learning about your pearl sequence? And is it still unfolding for you?
I was just going to say, when I started it, I had started a business that was all about like making natural products like candles, bath salts, lotion bars. I had just gotten my Reiki, like I was doing the moon goddess training. And so a lot of my pearl sequence kind of rang true to me, but I felt like not off about it, but I was like I understand it and I resonate with it, but I feel like I don't resonate with it fully. And what I didn't realize was like what was unfolding is I was stepping away from this business that I had created to fully step into the role that I am now, because like I got certified as an Akashic record reader. I got more of my levels of Reiki and started doing like one-to-one work with people. And so I was like, once I stepped into that, that's when I fully realized, oh shit. So like now I'm in my pearl, and it's still an evolution of it, but I have never felt so like aligned with my pearl sequence now.
And it
so
ties. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say like how to know what it's like to be in alignment and not. So just say like, let's say money or clients, for instance, for me. For so long, I was like, there was friction. Like, why am I not making the money? Like, where are the clients? Well, what am I doing wrong? And then you do the work, you start stepping further and further into alignment and stepping into your purpose. And then it's just like raining clients and abundance. I'm like, holy shit.
It's like magic. I know.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing why like you learn it all in this program is because this is, so you could just study your pearl, your gene keys. You could just study your astrology. You could just do your human design, and you can do them separately, but we do them all together in this class, in this course. So how, tell us a little bit about also coming to the understanding of how are you here to be of service as a projector, and how that also came together with the gene keys, but specifically how you're supposed to, work with people. What's the best way to work with people as a projector? And then also, how does that tie into your Pearl sequence and what you've learned there?
So for the longest time, like, especially when you look at your core wound and your vocation, like when you come into the Pearl, having your core wound being like literally your gift, your service to the world. And for so long being wanting to be seen and heard and understand, but wanting to not like, look at me, like that kind of stuff, feeling it, but also wanting to provide that for others. And so, like, of course, as a projector, that's naturally what I'm here to do, is to guide and to see. And so to realize that was so crazy to me, that like my whole entire life I'd been doing that, but not going about it in a way that it was received well. And then going further into the Pearl, it's like, why do I feel like I'm not meant for like big groups or things like that? It's very energetically draining on me. And then I go to see in my Pearl that one of my lines, so my culture sphere, which is like where I thrive, is the individual. And I'm like, oh, makes so much sense to me now. And I have so my culture and my Pearl is the 64th gene key, which is the shadow of confusion to the gift of imagination to the city of illumination. And like that right there feels much like being in the shadow of confusion. Like, why, what is going on here? Like, I'm so confused, literally. Why, what is happening here? And so me being very heady, I guess, would try to like figure this out all the time. And then I stumble across my Pearl, which is a line 1, which is simplicity. And I'm like, oh, I'm literally just meant to be me, to live a simple life and to guide people through their own shit, because like I'm a projector. So it's like I literally have this light on me that's like, hey guys, take my hand and I will guide you through the shittiest feelings you could be going through, and I promise you we will come out on the other side.
It's amazing. And that was like similar to my experience of learning like, oh, I'm a mental projector and I am supposed to teach. Like there's a big part of teaching this about all the stuff that what I knew that's what I was supposed to do. And then it has evolved and evolved and evolved. And now that I know, like, because I'm a projector and because I'm here to serve in this specific way, which is best in small groups or one-on-one for me as well, I can design my business, my strategy, my everything via the lens of all of these things. And this is why we're saying that you learn literally like how to fully live aligned by design. You're not just like, oh, I'm learning about myself. It's like, no, then you're going deep and doing the work. And then you're coming out and being like, oh my God, like I do have something to share. Like I do have something, special to give and to be of service in this way or this way or this way. And it is very eye-opening and very like relaxing. Like you can soften into who you are. It's magical. And
it's like a giant exhale. Like once you
yes,
literally start to step into alignment, all this friction just like dissipates from your body. And you're like, I literally was doing it wrong the whole time. And all of the things that you're taught in the Moon Goddess training literally teach you how to shed those like old belief systems, or I'm supposed to work this way, or I'm supposed to act this way, A, B, C, all the way to Y. And then you see these charts unfold, you do the work internally in your body, and you're like, oh, well, I'm glad that I learned this, so this part of my life going forward can be so much easier.
exactly. And speaking of, the gene keys and the Pearl sequence and human design, another thing that we dive into in level 3, and I'm going to share this on the screen, is circuitry. So it's human design circuits, gates, and channels. And I want to show you like the extensiveness of, I recently added this onto
the workbook for level 3, but I go through literally all the integration channels, but all the different circuits, even like channel by channel. So we've got individual circuitry. I explain what it is and then go into every single individual channel that you may or may not have, because this is about learning everything, not just yourself, but learning all of it, so that when you look at somebody else's chart, you can be like, oh, they have this channel and I don't, or I have this one and they don't, or we both have it, or, things like that. That's like the synastry version of human design. But we go through every single channel and gate in human design and all the circuits so that you can understand yourself that much deeper. And people always have questions like about this part. It's kind of complicated. It goes deeper into the study of human design, but that's why it's like level 3. We got to take it to the next level. So I wanted to show you that a little bit and how eye-opening this part of the level 3 can also be. And then I'd like to talk a little bit more now about the Akashic, certification, and what level 3 really is like the bulk of the program, which is learning how to do Akashic record readings. So do you want to share? I'd love for you to share, Ashley, what was your experience of, like, do you remember when you did your first reading versus when you did like your last one in the class? Like, do you remember the progression of how you felt in the beginning versus how you felt in the end? I'd love for people to see what that was like for you.
Yeah, okay. So I think it was like literally day 1 of level 3. And Jai, with a smile on her face, is like, so today we're going to be practicing readings on each other. And I'm like, this fucking bitch is crazy. What? And I remember, like, I'm pretty sure like half of the girls were like, my heart was like flying into my chest. Like, I felt like my stomach dropped into my butt. Like, I was like, no. But then the way that you presented it to us and the way you explained it and like having the scripts and everything, I remember being paired with the sweetest lady ever. And we were both like, oh shit, like, we're going to do our best here. And we each had like 30 minutes and we opened the records and it was like, you could feel the like nervousness in our voice for the first 5 minutes. And then all of a sudden, like, I think we did a chakra reading. We were reading each other's chakras. And I was like, message, visual. Oh, I don't know what's going on in the solar plexus, but here's a recipe for you. Like, all these things just started coming in. And all of a sudden we just were like, oh, so we can do this. And so it was really, really nerve-wracking, like, doing the first reading. But it just, like, each time got easier. Plus practicing outside of class with a partner, you gained more confidence and more confidence. And by the end of it, I was like, all right, like, I think I'm ready to do my reading with Chai. Like, I never thought that I could do this, but now I literally have blockbuster videos play in my head when I do Akashic readings. So
it's like you have to like now take away things because there's too much to share that comes through,
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, no, I love that. And it's amazing on my end. And this time last year, you got to see the students, the women, go through that process of becoming a little bit more comfortable and more confident in their own like skills, intuitive skills. It's just amazing to watch that process.
It was like a shocking glow. Like, they were stunned at themselves, which then made the glow bigger and bigger and bigger. I loved watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so all the things that we learn in level 2, we just take those same topics. And so in level 2, we learn how to read our own chakras. We learn how to crystal grid our own chakras, or even crystal grid like spaces in our house. We learn how to read our own like Akashic astrology. We learn how to connect with our spirit guides. We learn how to like clear our own energy. and our own space. We learn how to connect to those that have crossed on, to our loved ones that have crossed on, to receive messages from them. We also learn how to tune into specific soul contracts between us and people in our lives, specifically like the main relationships, like the main character, type of relationships. And then we also go on our own like individual shamanic journey, which is an experience of traveling through a visual journey into your subconscious mind. And it's kind of like dream space, like stepping into dream space and allowing, that the drum to take you in like a hypnotic state that allows you to be open to see and receive a message that you're meant to receive. A lot of times shamanic journeys are like for finding your spirit animal, or, going in and getting a message, that you need to hear right now, or even inner child healing. And so we practice how to do that for ourselves in level 2. And then in level 3, we start to do it to other people. Like we'll read each other's chakras. We'll crystal grid another person's chakras. We'll read another person's Akashic astrology. We'll connect to someone else's spirit guides. We'll learn how to guide someone else through an energy and a space clearing. We connect with other people's loved ones that have crossed on. We even learn how to guide and lead an Akashic healing chamber, which is like, it could be a sound bath. It could be like Reiki. There's infinite possibilities for that, but you learn to guide an Akashic healing chamber, which is what I called it. You also learn to read someone else's soul contracts and learn to create your own shamanic journey and guide other people through a shamanic journey. And it is so cool to watch, to experience, going from like reading myself to reading somebody else. And a lot of the things that you learn, and maybe this can lead us into the conversation about like the etiquette of the Akashic Records, is you learn what it's like to tune into somebody else with a focus. Because like a lot of like, we're not thinking all the time. We're out in the world and moving around and about, and we're like, a lot of us that are super sensitive already have completely repressed all of these gifts because they are overwhelming when you don't know how to like manage them or guide them correctly or use them like they're supposed to be used. And what you learn to do in level 3 is you learn to take those gifts and focus on like one specific topic at a time. Eventually they flow naturally, the gifts, all the different types of intuitive readings, but you start to bring full focus on something. And so do you remember what that was like, that experience of like for the first time, like sitting down and having to tune in? Like what did you have to do in order to like get out of your head and into like actually reading somebody? Do you remember that?
Yeah. So, like I was saying, like I remember being nervous, and that was where I really had to teach myself how to find some type of way to like ground, but also the person that I would read, I would get them to do it as well. So it really calmed us down so that we could get out of our heads and into our bodies. And that was the biggest help for me, because like I do remember sitting on Zoom with whoever I was working with and being like, you get a little bit fluttery in the heart or whatever, or vice versa with the other person. But we all found different ways, whether it was like, okay, let's just close down our eyes and take a couple deep breaths before we open the records. Like, I'm going to put myself in my Merkaba or my like sacred space before we go in. And it really like all of a sudden just pushed the outside world away.
Yeah.
And then I was able to really tune in to other energy. And that's where I started to learn like feeling my body again, because I started to really learn what was mine and what wasn't. Like energetically with people. Because like for so many years I was like a head case or like running around with anxiety, to only realize, oh, well, that definitely wasn't mine. So yeah, grounding into the space before starting the reading for someone else really helped me.
Mm-hmm.
And like when I did it last year as like a mentor with you, each goddess that was doing readings found their own way to really anchor themselves down to be able to tune into the person that they were reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it teaches you about energy without even trying to, like, you don't even realize what you're learning, and you're just learning. I do kind of throw you on into the fire, like on day 1 or was it day 2? But it's because I want you guys to like, you can only really fully understand it by having a lived experience of it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, how am I supposed to tune in? And it's like, when you're forced into it, you need to focus, and you sit down and focus. You find a way to focus. And then when you do that, that's when your true gifts start to like wake up. And then as you do that, you start to show yourself that you can do it. Because a lot of times the fear and the anxiety that's like, I don't know if I can do this, blah, blah, it's all in your head. Because like I said, we all have special intuitive gifts. And you'll notice that some things you're like really, they come to you really easy, like maybe visions or messages come to you like in like a picture or an image or like a movie. Sometimes it's really easy. You hear things or you see words. Sometimes you're just like constantly feeling emotions, and you get to start to realize like, oh my God, like I'm reading somebody else's energy. And like you just said, like, wow, my whole life I've been taking on other people's energy and not even realizing it and thinking it was my own. And so the other thing that you learn really well is about boundaries, energetic boundaries between you and other people. And this program, level 3, teaches you that, because you start to read other people's energy and have an experience of like, holy moly, I didn't realize how much I could like take on someone else's energy and it becomes mine for that moment, or that, it's like there's hidden things that you learn within the bigger topic, so that we're actually learning. That's why this program is like so comprehensive. But it's one of the most powerful things to learn how to set clear boundaries. And I teach you about some of the deeper layers of boundaries, like, the etiquette of like, reading someone's records. You need to ask for permission to read, someone's records, even if they've, booked a reading. There's always like a good practice of like, hey, is it okay if I open up your records? Can I have permission to open up your records? Because it opens up like the door. And it clears up any energy. And that's the boundary that, like, when people don't want to be read, you can feel that. So when you ask for permission, it's like, oh, they're opening themselves up to you. Little things like that. Like, you can't, when you're doing a reading for one person, you can't look into someone else's records. You can only look into that person's records that's in front of you. There's like, it's not just rude, but it's like, it's not cool to like go into, someone else's like closet or whatever. And that's not what this is for, because the entire thing that we teach in this class is that you have to take care of yourself first. You have to heal yourself first before you can even do readings for anybody else, before you can even like launch into the world of being of service to humanity. Because what ends up happening is, if you're in a shadow space and you go, oh yeah, we can just like snoop around and like open up, other people's, sacred spaces that are not for us to open up, then you're essentially teaching someone else that it's okay to like invade other people's privacy. So we learn about these things. We learn about how, important it is to be able to do that. And yeah, so it's important. Like, there's also rules of like, you can't really read the records for, something that for someone that's like underage, there's just certain things. There are certain parameters, which also teaches you boundaries. Do you have any thoughts that you want to share about that?
Yeah, I was just going to say also, when you start to practice readings, you're also going to really see where your authority comes online with human design, because like with me being an emotional projector, I know, like, even if I've had some clients where they have booked a reading with me, but then we come into the space and like I will still do the reading, but I can feel it in my body that they are like, get out of my space. Or all of a sudden I'm like extremely emotional when I know it's not mine. Or
Mm-hmm.
I can feel an experience that happened to them that maybe isn't the nicest feeling. So it's like you really get to understand your authority in human design as well. But boundaries is a very huge thing. And it's something that, like, yes, it's taught here and everyone knows the boundaries of reading the records, but you will still get people that will try to like push that with you in this space. Like how you were saying, like you can't go around and look into someone else's records without their permission.
Right.
Like you just can't do that. And it's very interesting to me that there is people out there that are like, okay, well, let's just like go look over here. And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't. That's so disrespectful. We don't do
Yeah,
that.
because we're teaching like, no, the work that you need to do is you. You need to heal yourself. And I can promise you, the minute you start doing that, your relationships are going to automatically, like people around you, they're going to automatically respond to what your growth, and you realize, yeah, that is something to be respected and honored and encouraged. So we encourage everyone to do their own work before they try to like point fingers. And that is why I wanted to even mention this topic at all, because we're here to, show you that like you can't do the work for other people. You can't, force other people to heal or see anything in any way that you want it to see it, that you want them to see it. You have to focus on yourself first. So we come from that premise, and that's why we teach the etiquette of reading Akashic Records. So one other thing that I'm really excited about that we were going to talk about today that we mentioned last time is we work with you one-on-one outside of the levels. Then this is new as of last year. So we wanted to share with you like what we do outside of the regular classes to meet with you one-on-one, and how this is meant to like help you along your journey. So you get the group experience plus working with us separately. And in level 1, there's 2 different sessions that we do. Do you want to tell them about they do one session with you and then one session with both of us? What do they do when they meet with you in level 1?
Yeah. Okay. So each individual goddess will meet with me, and we'll kind of have like a little chit chat or like a consult or whatever you want to call it. Just kind of check in and see how you're doing with everything. And I basically ask you, like, we're going to do an Akashic record reading. I'm going to do one for you. So last year I was asking the girls, like, is there something specific that you want to take a look at, like a soul contract with someone? Like, are you feeling off energetically? We can look at your chakras. Do you not have any questions really? And it really makes them, I guess you would say, set an intention to really feel like what this is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, how it's going to be for them. Like their eyes are going to be open to see what it looks like to do a reading. And so that's what I do for the girls in level 1. And it's super fun because there has been some profound stuff come up for each of them. And it's crazy because some of the girls are reaching out now being like, do you remember a year ago when you said this? Like, it just happened right now. And it's so crazy. Like, so yeah, we'll be doing that.
I love it. And the reason for that is to introduce you to like what we're going to be doing in level 3. And also to help you set an intention for the entire program, because this happens in level 1. So once you have your session with Ash, then we have a session with both of us where we actually, I literally just open up to like, what questions do you have so far? Because we do the second session towards like the end of level 1, and it's geared towards where are you at on your journey? Are you understanding your astrology, your gene keys, your human design? Are there anything that you want like clarification on? So we focus on that, and that's just kind of open-ended, but we do focus on like looking at, your charts if that, that's So you're getting set up to understand yourself in level 1. So then we get to level 2 and we have one session one-on-one that's actually with both of us. And this is actually something that Ashley and I also offer in our Aligned by Design program, which if you guys have no idea about it, we're going to come up with something really fun to revamp that program, but we can't wait. But anyways, because the Venus sequence in level 2 is so deep and so intense and like, you know, it's the soul wounding that we dive into, we do a soul retrieval for the inner child session with you outside of class. And we've done these before. They are so profound. They can be, I mean, and it's not easy, but we're there to guide you through it. And it's related to the Venus sequence and one shadow that you're, you know, that maybe it's the biggest one that's coming up for you at that time. It's like a guided, it's an active, guided sort of hypnotic session into your childhood to heal something, some memory, some trauma from the past. And it is inspired by Teal Swan's The Completion Process. So if you've never read that book, I highly recommend you read it. But it's like shamanic journeying, kind of past the time traveling into the past, going back in time, you know, finding that little you that was wounded and like loving her back to life and bringing her back into your heart. They are profound, those sessions. Like Ashley guided me through one because before we're like, we're going to do this. Let's like do it for each other before we like do it for other people. Holy shit. And then we did one for you too. I mean, like, you need like a minute after those. But the next day it's like you start to feel lighter and lighter and lighter. There's something powerful about this. It's like, I don't want to call it like, you know, magic, but it's like it feels so real and it clears the past. Like you're clearing your energy by going back in time. I don't even know how to describe it other than that. They're amazing. Do you have any, like, do you want to share anything about those sessions? Because, like, we never offered.
Like, I don't even have words to explain it. But to, like, if I think back on some of the ones that we did, it's like we put ourselves right in that memory with you.
Yeah.
And like Jai was saying, like, it can be heavy, depending on your experience that you had as a child. But when you get to like reframe that memory or heal that memory or bring that part of you back, watching the actual woman, like when you bring the inner child back is like seeing with my physical eyes. I can't comprehend the energy of the client we're working with because I'm like, we're both feeling it, obviously, being projectors, but then the woman is like, holy shit. Like,
it's almost like we go into like an alternate, like a video game reality where like we all of a sudden are in another dimension together and we're like walking you through the memory.
Yeah.
Like like you said, like rephrasing it, healing it. Just what did you need when you were little that you didn't get at that time? And we give that to that little self.
And you don't think like when you tell that to someone, they're like, okay, like really unsure about how that's going to happen. And then when they fully allow themselves to be in it, they're like, oh shit, we weren't playing around here.
It is like one of the most tender and powerful spaces that you travel into in the program.
Yeah.
And it's worth it. Okay. And then in level 3, which is the last time that you get to work one-on-one with us, we make ourselves available to you you do a practice session and you do a session for Ashley, and then I observe and I just give you feedback. And then if you have any questions about like, oh, I'm having trouble with like the chakra readings, or I'm having trouble with like this one specific thing, then we open up the floor again, like anything that you need, that you have us alone to ask these questions about regarding the training, that's what we focus on in level 3. And it's amazing because most people like blow their own minds, or like they get really nervous, but they're like, wow, I didn't realize that I could do this. But like the pressure just takes you there. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the pressure is almost like, okay, well, there's no out here. I have to do this. And something just lifts off of you and you just dial in. And yeah, like you said, they blow their own mind. And then I'm sitting here getting a reading being like, oh my God, okay. Like, yeah, it's just so freaking crazy.
Yeah. It is amazing. Okay, so what I want to share now on the screen, because we're almost complete with our broadcast, is the actual, and hang on, I just need to fix this real quick. The Zoom meeting is having a little bit of trouble for some reason. Okay. So I don't know if you guys if the video is working. Oh no, hang on. Let me try one last thing. But anyways, so we want to actually just show you how you can officially sign up for the actual program and the options that you have. Okay, I think I fixed it. So when you go on the link in the description of the video, by the way, we start February 17th, which is on the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, the year of the fire horse, which is next Tuesday. So if you're like gonna sign up, you got to do it. Just freaking dive in. You're not going to regret it. But the two things, because we've talked plenty about all this stuff that I want to share with you, is, well, there's 3 things. One of them is there's a free mini training that you can click here and do and sign up for, and it guides you through, like, it gives you an experience of like what it's like to be in the program, because I run, like, it's like 3 mini sessions that we do together. It's actually really amazing. And then when you're ready to sign up, you can go on the page, and if you click on, we have 2 options. There's a super deal. You can sign up for just 1 level, or you can sign up for all 3. I recommend you sign up for all 3. When you choose the pay in full option, you can do a payment plan through Affirm or Klarna. They check your credit, and then they offer you different options for payment plans, and you can take, sometimes they give you like a really long time to like pay for it. And then the other option is to do a payment plan directly with me, which is $244 a month for 12 months, which covers all 3 levels. But this is for the super deal. So you are only paying, the super deal is you pay for 2 levels and you get 1 of them for free. So buy 2, get 1 free. And I actually offer a payment plan for that, which I shouldn't, but I do. So there's no excuse. You guys, if you feel the call, like, please, please, please dive in. Trust that pull. Trust that pulse. This is the time to dive in. This is the time to like give it all you got. There's not going to be other opportunities when we're moving into 2027. The big shift is already going to be happening. Like, set yourself up for success now in your life. That's what this is for. I was talking to my husband earlier, and he was like, babe, he was like, if everyone knew about your moon goddess training, he's like, you would be filling up like entire conference. Like, if people knew like what this was really about, you would be like, you would need staff to like run the program. And it's, you know, it's just little old us projectors showing you what we are here to be of service in the world, and hoping that the message reaches the right people. So again, don't wait. Never wait. Stop waiting. Just stop waiting in general. I was actually I was saying that out loud today to someone that I know in my mind, like having an imaginary conversation. I'm like, stop waiting. Just live your life already. What are you waiting for? That's the true question that you need to ask yourself. What the hell are you waiting for? This is the offering. It's time to freaking do it. So, any final words that you want to share with everybody, Ash?
I was going to say, listen to your bodies. When she says, what are you waiting for? Get out of your head. Because your body literally will be please, please, we need this so badly. And I honestly, however many years ago, didn't realize that this is what I needed. And full disclosure for anyone that has never met me, X amount of years ago, you would never see my ass on a live. I would be hiding under a blanket. Don't even think about making me show my face anywhere. And here we are. It literally, it sounds so dramatic, but it literally changes your fucking life. And it's when I say it out loud, I'm like, wow, that was so ridiculous of you to say. But I'm like, no. It changed. Archie, my dog, is like, hell yeah, mom, it changed your life. Literally.
I mean, imagine what it would be like to actually thrive instead of just survive, literally, in your life.
Yep.
To have all the tools to get through the hard times, because the hard times don't stop coming. But when you have the tools to get through the hard times, it's when you know that you can trust fully in your fucking design, your life changes. So.
And the space, it's not read this book and go off and do your own thing. Yes, we read and we go off and we experience our own things, but the community here is for when you feel like you trip and stumble and you falter. The group in that year of the program is literally there to lift each other up. So you're not alone. You have us and you have other women that are going through the exact same thing, and we all just want to see each other thrive. So it's never I know that some people, when they think about doing healing, they're like, I can't, don't you need to have a professional therapist by your side to do this? This is what this group is to me. When you do the heavy work, you have support. You aren't left to your own demise to be what the fuck? I don't know what's happening. Someone help me. We are here for those specific times when you turn the key on the gene keys and explode. When you open the floodgates, we are all here for each other to literally help you basically. What's the word? It's you shatter into a million pieces, but then we put all the pieces back into right alignment, and you're this new glowing human.
It's amazing. Thank you. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you, Ashley, for joining me in this journey of, showing your experience too, which is a vulnerable thing to do. I appreciate that so much. And
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we invite you to join us on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 for the Moon Goddess training. And we can't freaking wait to begin to dive into that Nile River.
Oh, yes!
On Tuesday. All right. Satnam, everyone, and see you soon.
Before time was measured, before the world became loud, there was a remembering written in your soul. A remembering of who you are, beneath the roles, the striving, the forgetting. There comes a time when the veil thins and the old ways of living no longer fit. You feel it as a pull, a quiet ache, a knowing that something ancient within you is ready to awaken. This is the path of alignment. Alignment is not effort. It is remembrance. When you align, your intuition sharpens like a flame. Your energy settles into your body. Your life begins to move in rhythm with the unseen. The Moon Goddess training is a sacred initiation into this remembrance. Through the Akashic Records, the timeless field of soul memory, you journey beyond time and space into the ancient temples of the Nile. As you enter them, something within you unlocks. Layers dissolve, old wounds soften, your inner sight opens. You remember how to listen, how to trust, how to move through life, guided rather than forced. This is the return of the aligned woman, rooted in her body, open in her heart, clear in her knowing. She no longer searches outside herself. She remembers the way. If your soul is listening now, this is your invitation. The Moon Goddess training begins soon, and the path opens the moment you say yes.